Okay, now that we know how to create a rubric for our daily assignments, let's look at how to use them for grading. And then eventually, after you've graded it, what will that look like in your Mastery Gradebook on Canvas? So I'm going to take you here. Here is my math class, or all my classes. We've been using my sandbox, but I'm going to take you into my math class so I can show you what the assignment looks like and how that rubric works with our daily assignments. So in my math class, I have the modules set up for weekly right here. I'm going to move me out of the way. And keep in mind what you see here is not necessarily what all the students see. These are assigned to individual or small groups of students. So their content is much less on their Canvas page. So I'm going to scroll down to our assignment that we did today. When I click on the assignment, it takes me here. It'll take me to the assignment. And depending on how you set up the assignment, it may look different and show it all here. But for this assignment, for problem sets in math, I use Kami. So it's right here. It's not showing me anything. But if you notice, you have three options, three gray buttons over here. And so I'm going to use the speed grader button for this option. So when I click speed grader, it will take me to the assignments. Okay, I'm going to move me up here. So here are the assignments. They're pulling up. Again, we're using Kami for this. And like I said, we just talked about parallel lines, kind of a review of what they are. And I had the students complete this assignment. Now, this here shows me the student work. This particular student used black, so it's hard to see where they did their work. Let me see if I can switch to a different student. Now notice in the assignments you have your grade here, and then you have the gray button that says View Rubric. Okay, yeah, this particular student used red, so we use this one. So I just had them complete just one small portion of this, just to kind of get a good overall view of if they understood the basic concepts or not. So I have my grade, and this for problem sets, all I do is a simple complete or incomplete. Okay, so I'm going to give the student a complete because they completed the portion I asked them to. And here I have View Rubric. Now the rubric pops up here. It's got the standard along with the meets, exceeds, and all that. Now this student, if I look through her assignment, she was able to identify parallel lines in the shapes. Oh, here we have an issue though, right? So here we have an issue. They identified these as parallel. Now, most of them are correct. So I think the student has a good understanding of what parallel lines are, but obviously I need to go back and check to make sure that that understanding is strong. So let's look at my rubric. How would I grade that? I have obviously not an exceeds expectations, and this one really doesn't have the exceeds options. We have meets, and we have a does not meets. I would give the student personally a meets on this assignment. Okay, but how the rubric works, you have a 0 to 5 scale. Okay, so if it was just right now, I'll grade it. All I would do was I'd click the meets expectations, because for right now, that student is meeting the expectation. We're missing one of those, we'll go back. This gives me a yellow. Now, for a strong student, if they got them all correct, I would give them a strong meet. So you can here type in the score that you want to give them. So even though it's a 5-3-0 scale, it is still 0 to 5. So I can type in a 4. Now, in the Mastery Gradebook, this will give me a green color. 3 will give me a bright orange color, meaning meets, but you might want to go back and give them a little more support. I can also type in a 2. I type in a 2, that'll give me an in progress in the Mastery Gradebook. I type in a 1 or click 0, that'll give me a does not meet in the Mastery Gradebook. So you have that 0 to 5 scale, with 0 and 1 being does not meets, 2 being an in progress, 3 and 4 being meet, but 4 is a green meet, whereas 3 is an orange meet. A little bit of a difference there. And 5 is an exceeds expectations, when you have assignments where the students can earn that exceeds. So in this case, for this student, I would give them a 3. Meets expectation. But with that orange color, meaning I need to go back and little more support and double check to make sure that they can get a strong meets. So I got that 3, and I'll click Save. Saves it. There we go. There's the score. There's the rubric for that student. Let's look at my next student. Maybe they'll be a good strong meet, and I can show you the difference between the two. Okay, so let's look at this student. So this student, parallel, they kind of got something weird going on here, but it looks like the lines she drew are parallel. Parallel, parallel, parallel. Okay, so a good strong meets. So I'm going to give the student a complete. And on the rubric, I'm going to, instead of clicking one of the options here, I'm going to type in a 4. I'm going to type in a 4 because it's a good strong meet. I'm going to click Save. There we go. So that right there is how you use the rubric to grade assignments. It puts them parallel to each other, right next to each other. Now, what does that mean? What does the Mastery Gradebook look like then? So let's click on my gradebook here, up here in the corner, and it'll take me directly to the Mastery Gradebook. So here you see reds and greens and yellows and all that. It shows me real quick the standard up here and what student needs to work on what standard. Lots of greens in this standard, good. I just did the geometry, the G4, here we go. Oh, I think I got to finish grading the assignment. So here, right here with this geometry, gives me a graph, lets me know who's meeting expectations, not meeting expectations, or what percentage of my students there. Gives me a quick snapshot of how my class is doing on that particular standard. But it also gives me a quick look at particular students. So here you see the 3 out of the 3. 3 out of 3 is meets expectation, but it still has that orange there, so it lets me know that they meet, but it's not a good strong meet. If you look at the 4th one down, it's 4 out of 3. That's a good strong meet, and notice that it's green, okay? And if there was an exceeds, it would be a different color. So that is how you use our rubric for grading and how you can look and see the Mastery Gradebook.